In this video, I'm going to go through 10 things that everybody in Battlefield 1 knows, except for you. Some will be fairly simple, and I'm sure there'll be a couple of you in here that are really knowledgeable about the game and think you know the lot, but I bet you there's a couple of things in here that you will find useful. Battlefield 1 is one of those games where you can learn something new every time you play. Maybe it's not something super tactical, but definitely something that you might be able to use in-game and get an edge over the opponent. Starting off at number 1, we have the medic slide revive. Examples of this can be seen in the background. Reviving is a massive part of Battlefield 1. If you're a medic, I'm sure you've been in a situation where reviving a teammate has caused you to get killed by an enemy. What I would suggest is incorporating the knee slide into the revive, and in doing so you will be faster and more difficult to hit. Sometimes the animation doesn't even show because you're going so fast. Next up, we've got reloads. Avoiding the last part of the animation can really speed up the reload. In order to cancel the animation, you need to switch to a different gadget at the exact second your game shows your ammo count to be refilled. Another top tip, instead of switching to your pistol and then back to your primary, switch to a medical pouch and then back again. Some weapons get a really nice reload time boost, but unfortunately, some don't. Some of the sniper weapons are perfect for this trick, namely the Label. A quick option for those on console, make sure you place your stick aiming acceleration on 0%. It will remove any of the lag that you may have experienced with your aiming, and will of course remove the acceleration, making it feel more like Battlefield 4. You don't want acceleration when playing FPS games, as it completely messes up your consistency and accuracy. The same goes for if you're on PC, make sure you turn off mouse acceleration in Windows settings. Don't you just hate getting destroyed in a game of Conquest and always being on the losing side? Well, this little trick will help you avoid that. Join a platoon. Most people you see team stacking and clan stacking and destroying servers, mainly on Conquest. It's usually down to the fact they're part of a platoon. They probably don't even know each other. They've just joined a platoon, joined on members, and then they can really do some damage. Not any platoon will do, however. You need to make sure you're joining one with a lot of active players that play in the same region as you. Quite often the best way to do this is to find players in game that are good and then jump into their platoon if you can. Maybe it'll take a few tries, but eventually you'll be in with a group of people that consistently play the objective and make your gaming experience 10 times better. You don't even need to join them on comms, just join their games through the platoon option and set to work helping them win the match. This is far more rewarding than team switching in order to get on the better side or simply losing matches all the time. There is literally no reason to skip the revive timer in Battlefield 1, assuming you want to respawn in the same class. Even over a year after the game's release, I still see people instantly skipping revives, thinking that it will get them back into the game more quickly. That is just wrong. You might as well wait out the timer in-game with the hope of getting a revive instead of skipping to the spawn screen and waiting there instead. Now I know some players like to instantly skip, change class, and then come back to deal with whatever killed them in the first place. That is a clever way to operate, however the amount of times I see someone skip only to reappear 30 seconds later in the same class is just stupid. I mentioned this in a previous video, but obviously not everyone's seen it because I still see people stuck on hills in tanks. If you click left and right really quickly on your keyboard or left and right on the joystick, your tank will move faster up the hill. Sometimes you will get stuck on a muddy incline, and this is a great way to speed up the process and boost your way to victory. It works the best with the light tanks. When shooting a behemoth, make sure you focus on the turrets. When I see people fighting behemoths, they usually just rambo in and launch all their anti-tank grenades in the general direction of the enemy and then get flattened. Instead, be a little more tactical and attempt to hit the weak points. Turrets can be disabled fairly easily, meaning more of your team can get involved and hurt the thing without it shooting back. You can also snipe people out of the big behemoth on Ballroom Blitz or something like that and snipe them through the side of the little pods that they spawn in. Although I have previously made fun of people that use certain gadgets in the scout class, as it turns out the trench periscope is really good. Outline enemies in red from a safe distance and watch them get flattened. You'd be surprised how quickly your team focuses on a target once you've painted them, and assuming you know what targets are important to remove, you can almost orchestrate a victory with just a trench periscope. It's similar to being a commander in Battlefield 4, although from the ground. It's a great gadget if you're not the best at aiming. You can get some decent score just by spotting people in the distance and picking things that your team need to kill quickly. Now I don't want to patronise those watching this video that do this next thing, and I'm sure most of you do. It is however one of the most important things in Battlefield 1, and although it doesn't strictly fit in with this video's title, I still feel as though I have to include it. Spot the enemy. I don't care whether a tank is pushing you and all you have is a mortar and an empty crossbow launcher, that serves you right for not taking ammo, and I hope you get squashed, but before you do so, spot the tank. Spotting basically puts a target on the enemy player or enemy vehicle's back, and it will certainly make their life a whole lot more difficult. Scout players get flares that are amazingly good in this game, and as an added trick, if you're a support player, drop ammo at the feet of friendly scouts that are camping and beg them to shoot all their flares. A barrage of flares will light up the minimap and really help your team out. The mortar flare combo. You will know I'm not a fan of the mortar in BF1, indirect fire and all that. However, if you're going to use it, you might as well use it properly. Team up with a few scout players and get them to flare the objective that you're planning to bombard. Ideally, you will have previously dropped ammo for them in order to replenish their flares. Use the mortar to rain down hell and remove all enemy presence from the flag. You can also be deadly towards enemy tanks with the HE mortar, dealing massive damage to the light tank especially. This is a very good example of teamwork in Battlefield 1, although it's not clearly obvious when you first jump into the game. The scout class and the support class work fantastically well together. Flares and mortars just go hand in hand. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. And maybe there was something in here that you didn't know. For me, when I first came across some of the things in this video, when I was doing some research, I didn't know them at all, and it's great to have them as part of my tactics when playing Battlefield 1. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.